Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a game between Grandmaster Lee Chao and with the white pieces and Anish Giri with the black pieces. This game is from the 2017 FIDE Grand Prix going on in Mallorca. And in this position that stems from the exchange variation of the Slav, which has a funny reputation because in certain times it's been labeled as being, you know, a dead draw, right, for both sides. And then at the same times, at different times, it's been labeled, as almost a refutation to the Slav. Uh, we could say that the truth is in between that. Okay, so it's not that extreme, but there is definitely poison in the Slav exchange variation. You'll find many Grandmaster games um, where Black gets into trouble and loses. Matter of fact, I made a video series. It's long. It's almost 2 hours long. It's called Grandmasters versus the Slav. Excuse me, Grandmasters versus the Exchange Slav, where I just go over games, regardless of the result. So some games Black wins, some games Black draws, some games White wins. But it's just basically highlighting the difficulties in Exchange Slav. It's not. It looks simple, but there's some tricky patterns and plans that White has that often puts Black under extreme amount of pressure. So we're gonna start from this position and move 16. This is again Li Chao with the white pieces, Chinese Grandmaster, and Anish Giri, who are very solid Grandmaster. Um, People used to make fun of him a lot for drawing his game, so he's definitely a difficult player to beat. And this is stemming from an exchange Slav. So now white to move. Chao plays the move rook c1, getting ready to open up the c file for his rooks. Now, if you look at the coordination of the white pieces, you see this bishop on this diagonal, and linking up with this rook on c1. So therefore, when the exchange does take place, um, Gary would have to be very careful on how he exchanges. Okay, right now he wouldn't want to exchange with the c pawn because it would allow the rook to penetrate, and he wouldn't really want to change with the other pawn because they have two pawn islands. All right, so already there's this pressure in the position. Also note too that Black is just a little bit behind in development because he needs to connect these rooks here. Okay, so he needs to get his king out the way, not necessarily castle. Maybe he must move the king up or something like that to get these rooks in the game. So there it is, King D7. So he's already anticipating uh, the opening of this file. So first G4. This drives the bishop back, gaining more space on the king side, and now he makes the exchange here. Okay, and now this move G4 by taking over this square prevents this bishop from having any future over here on the queen side on this diagonal. Perhaps to help out, maybe coming here to bishop b7, right, to fortify this pawn, or even at some point a6. So this g4 not only gains space, but has the other purpose of knocking this bishop out of the game, kind of limiting the option. Not that it's out of the game because it's on a nice diagonal, but limits the options that Gary may have. Okay, so Gary chooses the lesser of two evils instead of letting the rook and bishop coordinate with this penetration on the seventh rank. He takes with the pawn, but now you see he has an isolated pawn here, which is weak, along with these two pawns. Okay. Now white has weaknesses of his own, which is the B pawn here. All right, but right now black is not really attacking it, whereby white already has pressure on the C pawn. E4, putting more pressure on the center. Now, what does this move do? This forces Black to make a decision because he's threatening to take and to push the same time. Of course, e5 would be kind of anti-positional as you would be blocking the bishop. Okay, although you could have possibilities creating a passage, that's not the real idea. But the threat to take on d4 is dangerous because again it introduces the possibility of this rook penetrating again to the seventh rank. So e4, d takes e4. Okay. Again, now you say, well, what's going on? Well, it's a pawn sacrifice. The idea is he wants to get these pieces into the game. He wants that file open. So he just puts maximum pressure on the position. Giri says nope and keeps the position closed. However, now this opens up a lane for this bishop right here and gives black a pass pawn. Excuse me, gives white a pass pawn. So you see how that worked? He sacrificed a pawn and put a lot of pressure, and so now Giri had to choose the lesser of two evils. Okay, either you give up the penetration to the seventh rank, or you allow white with to have this pass pawn. All right. It's very dangerous with these bishops crossing over like this. Now Gary has lost some footing because remember I was saying how he needed to get these rooks in the game, connect the rooks. So he did good at first. He brought the king to d7, but now with the subsequent events that have taken place, now he's back at square one. Instead of his king being on e8, he's on d8, and the rooks are still not connected. Bishop d6. Now this pawn is attacked. Rook c8. And now simply just bishop c6. Okay, and improving the scope of his pieces. This pawn is protected, and also, of course, the rook can't come out here. And this pawn is threatened again, because now the bishop on c6 blocks the influence of this rook. Desperation, right? Wanting to get this rook involved. Say you have to move like h3 and then just taking. This is why g5 happens, because Lee Chao says nope, the rook can stay right where it is. And now white has to be careful. I mean, black has to be careful. Move like h4, just locking everything in. So e takes f3. Lee Chao takes the more important c pawn, because this pawn is weak. It's going to fall anyway. So he grabs that pawn. And with the removal of the dark square bishop, now this pawn is in, I don't even want to say it's in jeopardy. It's lost. There it is. And now we see that white has gained, the material back, but now he has two free pass pawns to go up the board, and black is in a passive position. b4, b5. So now these pawns are protected. The rooks are free to start attacking. What else, right? Get behind the pawn to prohibit it from going up the board any further. Easy move, king d6, rook d7. This easy moves is driving the king out. Okay, the king is too exposed. King d4, and now d6. King goes back to g1. Bishop f5. More desperation, but this just simply gives up another pawn. g6. d7, why not? Now the king is here, bishop is here, and now, the rook is here, super passive, and there's no way to, no way for black to get out of this situation. Good move is like rook e7 here, for instance, just threatening, it's real straightforward, threatening rook e8. So it looks like black would just, excuse me, yeah, black just has to give up the bishop or something for his d7 pawn. There's no other way around it. So yeah, there it is. Okay, so rook e7, and yeah, that's it. He resigned. So Giri resigned. Just nice, clean 40 move victory, just right at the time control, and basically just blew Giri out the water. You usually don't see Giri lose in just such an easy fashion because he was lost for a while. He played on the move 40, but maybe it was some type of time situation. But he was pretty busted, like around here, around move 30 or so. Um, so anyway, that's just to show you just some of the poison that exists in the exchange Slav. It's very you can't take it lightly. It looks funny because it just looks like everything is symmetrical, but white just has that steady initiative, and this plan with coordinating these pieces was nice. Just opening up the C file at all costs was a great plan. Exploiting black before he can get his pieces coordinated. I like this whole scheme with G4 driving the bishop back here so that the bishop can't participate on the queen side, and then just start sacrificing material here. D takes E4, D5, and Gary tried his best to keep the position closed, but perhaps improvement is just C takes, just biting a bullet here and allowing the infiltration. And this would take concrete calculation, of course, to allow the white pieces to start swarming like this in the position, because it's definitely coming. But and this is just like a sample. But to me, it seems like uh, black is in all types of discomfort here in this position. And then white again just starts recouping his material that he sacrificed due to the dismal nature of the black pieces. So that's an interesting game, and I enjoy presenting it to you. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.